You're standing at the edge of a vast, uncharted wilderness. The path ahead is unclear, winding through dense forest and over rugged mountains. It's a journey that many would shy away from, but not you. You're different. You're a warrior ready to embark on a solitary quest that will test your limits and forge your spirit. Today, we're going to talk about what it means to walk alone like a warrior. It's not just a catchy phrase. It's a way of life that can transform you from the inside out, propelling you towards greatness and fulfillment beyond your wildest dreams. Now, I know what you're thinking. Walking alone, that sounds lonely, maybe even a little scary. But let me tell you something. The most profound journeys, the ones that shape us into who we're meant to be, are often solitary ones. It's in those moments of solitude that we truly discover who we are and what we're capable of. Think about the great leaders, innovators, and trailblazers throughout history. They didn't wait for the crowd to validate their vision. They didn't seek permission to pursue their dreams. They stepped out on their own, armed with nothing but their convictions and an unwavering belief in themselves. That's what it means to walk alone like a warrior. It means having the courage to follow your own path, even when others can't see where it leads. It means trusting your instincts and having faith in your abilities, even when doubt creeps in. It means being willing to face your fears head on, knowing that each obstacle you overcome makes you stronger. But here's the thing. Walking alone doesn't mean you're actually alone. It means you're brave enough to lead the way, to be the first one to step into uncharted territory. And in doing so, you inspire others to follow their own paths, to become warriors in their own right. So, how do we cultivate this warrior spirit? How do we find the strength to walk alone when the world seems determined to make us conform? It starts with understanding that true power comes from within. You see, most people spend their lives seeking validation from others. They let their worth be determined by the opinions of those around them. But a warrior knows that real strength isn't found in the approval of others. It's found in the quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are and what you stand for. Think about a time when you accomplished something you never thought possible. Maybe you ran your first marathon, started your own business, or overcame a personal challenge that once seemed insurmountable. In those moments of triumph, did you need anyone else to tell you how amazing you were? No. You felt it in your bones. That's the warrior spirit. The knowledge that you are capable of greatness, regardless of what anyone else thinks. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. Walking alone like a warrior requires courage, determination, and a willingness to face your own fears and doubts. It means being comfortable with discomfort, embracing uncertainty as a chance for growth rather than a reason to retreat. But here's the beautiful thing. Every step you take on this solitary path makes you stronger. Every challenge you overcome builds your resilience. Every moment of doubt you push through increases your self-belief. You're not just walking alone. You're forging yourself into the person you were always meant to be. Imagine for a moment that you're climbing a mountain. The path is steep, the air is thin, and your muscles are screaming for you to stop. But you keep going, one step at a time. You're not climbing for anyone else. You're climbing for yourself to prove that you can reach the summit. As you near the top, you look back and see how far you've come. The view is breathtaking, not just because of the landscape spread out below you, but because you know that every inch of that climb was earned through your own sweat and determination. That's what it feels like to walk alone like a warrior, to know that your achievements are truly your own. But it was a secret that many don't realize. When you walk alone like a warrior, you're never truly alone. You're walking alongside every other brave soul who has dared to forge their own path. You're part of a lineage of trailblazers and innovators who refuse to let fear or conformity hold them back. Think about the Wright brothers tinkering away in their bicycle shop, dreaming of flight when everyone said it was impossible. Or Marie Curie pursuing her passion for science in a time when women were often excluded from academic circles. They walked alone, yes, but in doing so, they changed the world. You have that same power within you. Every time you choose to follow your heart instead of the crowd, every time you stand up for what you believe in, every time you take a step into the unknown, you're tapping into that warrior spirit. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but I'm not special. I'm not a genius inventor or a world-changing scientist. How can I be a warrior? Let me tell you something. Being a warrior isn't about being the smartest, the strongest, or the most talented. It's about having the courage to be yourself, unapologetically and authentically. Think about the last time you had a crazy idea, something that excited you but also scared you a little. Maybe it was a business concept, a creative project, or a personal goal that seemed just out of reach. What did you do with that idea? Did you share it with others, only to have them tell you all the reasons it wouldn't work? Did you let it fade away because it didn't fit with what everyone else was doing? A warrior would have taken that idea and run with it, not because they knew it would succeed, but because they knew that the only way to truly fail is to never try at all. They understand that innovation and growth happen at the edges of our comfort zones, in those moments when we dare to be different. Walking alone like a warrior means embracing those moments of uncertainty and possibility. It means being willing to take risks, to fail, and to get back up again. Because here's the truth: failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone on the path to greatness. Think about any skill you've mastered in your life. Maybe it's playing an instrument, excelling at a sport, or becoming proficient in your career. Did you achieve that mastery overnight? You stumbled, you made mistakes, you had moments of frustration where you wanted to give up. But you kept going, driven by a vision of what you could become. That's the warrior's way. We don't walk alone because we think we're better than others. We walk alone because we're committed to becoming the best versions of ourselves, and we understand that sometimes the journey requires us to leave the familiar behind. Now let's talk about fear for a moment. Fear is the warrior's constant companion, but it's not the enemy many people think it is. Fear is simply a sign that you're pushing your boundaries, that you're growing beyond your current limitations. A warrior doesn't try to eliminate fear. They learn to dance with it. Imagine you're standing on the edge of a cliff, preparing to dive into the waters below. Your heart is racing, your palms are sweaty, and every instinct is telling you to step back to safety. But you take a deep breath, focus on your goal, and leap. In that moment of free fall, before you hit the water, you're fully alive, fully present. That's what it means to embrace fear as a warrior. Every time you face your fears, every time you take that leap into the unknown, you're growing stronger, you're proving to yourself that you're capable of more than you ever imagined. And here's the amazing thing: the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Not because the challenges get smaller, but because you become bigger. Walking alone like a warrior also means being willing to stand up for what you believe in, even when it's unpopular. It means having the courage to speak your truth, to challenge the status quo when necessary, and to fight for what's right. Think about the great social reformers throughout history. They didn't wait for popular opinion to catch up with their ideals. They stood up, spoke out, and took action, often in the face of fierce opposition. They walked alone, but in doing so, they blazed trails for others to follow. You have that same power within you. Every time you choose integrity over convenience, every time you stand up for someone who can't stand up for themselves, every time you choose to do what's right instead of what's easy, you're walking the warrior's path. But here's something crucial to understand. Walking alone like a warrior doesn't mean you have to be harsh or unfeeling. In fact, some of the greatest strength comes from compassion, both for others and for yourself. A true warrior understands that we're all fighting our own battles, all walking our own paths. They don't judge others for not understanding their journey. Instead, they lead by example, showing others what's possible when you have the courage to be true to yourself. And perhaps most importantly, a warrior knows how to be compassionate with themselves. They understand that the path of growth isn't always smooth. There will be setbacks, moments of doubt, times when it feels like all your efforts are in vain. In those moments, a warrior doesn't berate themselves or give up. They acknowledge the difficulty, learn from it, and keep moving forward. Think about a time when you faced a significant setback. Maybe you lost a job, ended a relationship, or failed at something that was important to you. How did you handle it? Did you let it define you, or did you use it as fuel to propel yourself forward? A warrior understands that these moments of adversity are not roadblocks. They're opportunities for growth. They know that it's not about never falling. It's about always getting back up. And each time you rise, you're stronger, wiser, and more resilient than before. Now let's talk about purpose. Walking alone like a warrior isn't just about personal achievement. It's about finding and fulfilling your unique purpose in life. It's about understanding that you have gifts, talents, and experiences that no one else has, and that it's your responsibility to share those gifts with the world. Think about what lights you up inside. What are the things that make you lose track of time, that fill you with a sense of excitement and possibility? Those are clues to your purpose. A warrior doesn't ignore those clues or push them aside in favor of what's practical or expected. They follow them, trusting that they'll lead to where they're meant to go. When you're walking your path with purpose, Amazing things start to happen. Doors open that you never knew existed. People come into your life who support and inspire you. Opportunities arise that align perfectly with your goals and values. It's not magic. It's what happens when you have the courage to be true to yourself and pursue what really matters to you. But here's the thing about purpose. It's not always clear or straightforward. Sometimes finding your purpose means trying many different things, exploring various paths, and being willing to change course when something doesn't feel right. A warrior embraces this journey of discovery, knowing that each experience is shaping them into who they're meant to be. Think about some of the most successful and fulfilled people you know. Chances are their paths weren't linear. They probably had twists and turns, moments of uncertainty, and periods of reinvention. But through it all, they stayed true to themselves, following their inner compass rather than society's expectations. That's what it means to walk alone like a warrior. To trust your own instincts, to listen to your own heart, even when it's leading you in a direction that others don't understand or approve of. It means having the courage to say no to things that don't align with your values and yes to opportunities that scare you but excite you at the same time. Now let's talk about mindset. A warrior's mindset is one of growth and possibility. They don't see their abilities and character as fixed traits, but as qualities that can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. When faced with a challenge, a warrior doesn't think, "I can't do this." Instead, they think, "I can't do this yet." That simple shift in perspective opens up a world of possibilities. It turns obstacles into opportunities and failures into stepping stones. Think about a skill you've always wanted to learn but have been putting off because you thought you weren't naturally good at it. Maybe it's public speaking, learning a new language, or mastering a musical instrument. What if you approached it with a warrior's mindset? What if, instead of focusing on your current limitations, you focused on your potential for growth? A warrior understands that mastery is a journey, not a destination. They embrace the process of learning and improving, finding joy in the small victories along the way. So they know that every expert was once a beginner, and that the only way to become great at something is to be willing to be bad at it first. This growth mindset extends beyond just skills and abilities. A warrior applies it to their whole life, constantly seeking to expand their understanding, challenge their assumptions, and push beyond their comfort zone. They're lifelong learners, always curious, always growing. But walking alone like a warrior isn't just about personal growth. It's also about impact. When you have the courage to be true to yourself, to pursue your passions and live your purpose, you inevitably inspire others to do the same. Think about someone who has had a profound impact on your life. Chances are they weren't trying to be a role model or a leader. They were simply living their truth, pursuing their passions, and being authentically themselves. And in doing so, they showed you what was possible in your own life. That's the power of walking alone like a warrior. Your journey of self-discovery and growth becomes a beacon for others. Your courage in facing your fears gives others permission to face theirs. Your persistence in pursuing your dreams shows others that their dreams are possible too. But here's the beautiful paradox: the more you inspire others, the less alone you actually are. As you walk your path, you'll find that others are drawn to your authenticity and courage. You'll build connections with like-minded individuals who support and challenge you. You'll create a community of fellow warriors, each walking their own path but united in their commitment to growth and purpose. Now, I want to address something important. Walking alone like a warrior doesn't mean you have to do everything by yourself. It doesn't mean rejecting help or support when it's offered. In fact, knowing when to ask for help is a sign of true strength. A warrior understands that we're all interconnected, that we all have something to learn from each other. They're not afraid to seek guidance from mentors, to collaborate with peers, or to lean on loved ones during tough times. The difference is that they do so from a place of strength and self-awareness, not dependency or fear. Think about the great leaders throughout history. They didn't achieve their goals in isolation. They surrounded themselves with talented people, sought advice from wise counselors, and built alliances with those who shared their vision. But at the end of the day, they were the ones who had to make the tough decisions, who had to chart the course forward. That's what it means to walk alone like a warrior. It means taking full responsibility for your life and your choices. It means being willing to stand alone when necessary, but also knowing how to build and nurture relationships that support your growth and purpose. As we near the end of our time together, I want to leave you with a challenge. Starting today, I want you to commit to walking your own path. I want you to embrace your warrior spirit and have the courage to be uniquely, authentically you. It won't always be easy. There will be times when you'll be tempted to fall back into old patterns, to conform to others' expectations, to play it safe. In those moments, I want you to remember this. You are capable of so much more than you realize. You have a unique combination of gifts, experiences, and perspectives that the world desperately needs. Don't let fear hold you back. Don't let others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. Don't settle for a life that's anything less than extraordinary. Walking alone like a warrior isn't about reaching a specific destination. It's about embracing the journey of becoming the fullest, most authentic version of yourself. It's about waking up each day with a sense of purpose and excitement, knowing that you're on the path to realizing your full potential. Remember, every great adventure starts with a single step. Your journey as a warrior begins now, in this moment. It begins with a decision to trust yourself, to believe in your dreams, and to have the courage to pursue them. So, my fellow warriors, are you ready? Are you ready to step out of your comfort zone and into the life you were meant to live? Are you ready to face your fears, overcome your doubts, and become the hero of your own story? The path ahead may be challenging, but I promise you this, it will also be incredibly rewarding. Every obstacle you overcome, every fear you face, every dream you pursue will make you stronger, wiser, and more alive. And though you may walk alone, know that you're part of a long lineage of brave souls who have dared to forge their own paths. Your courage will inspire others, your determination will move mountains, and your authenticity will change the world in ways you can't even imagine. So take that first step, embrace your warrior spirit. And remember, the greatest battles we face are not out there in the world, but within ourselves. Win that battle, and there's nothing you can't achieve. Now go forth, brave warrior. Your adventure awaits. The world is ready for your unique gifts, your powerful voice, and your indomitable spirit. Walk alone, but walk proud. For in your solitary journey, you will find your true strength, your deepest purpose, and ultimately your greatest self. As you step forward into the unknown, remember that every great journey begins with uncertainty. Embrace that uncertainty as a sign that you're growing, evolving, and pushing beyond your current limitations. The path of a warrior is not always clear, but it is always meaningful. Think about the moments in your life when you felt most alive, most authentic, most connected to your inner power. Those moments didn't come from following someone else's script or playing it safe. They came from listening to that quiet voice within, the one that urged you to take a chance, to be brave, to do what felt right even when it wasn't easy. That voice is your warrior spirit calling out to you. It's been there all along, waiting for you to acknowledge it, to embrace it, to let it guide you towards your true destiny. And now as you commit to walking alone like a warrior, you're answering that call. What does it really mean to walk this path? It means waking up each day with a sense of purpose and intention. It means setting goals that excite you and scare you in equal measure. It means being willing to fail, to look foolish, to be misunderstood, all in service of becoming who you're meant to be. As you embark on this journey, you'll find that the world around you starts to change. Not because the world itself is different, but because you're seeing it through new eyes, the eyes of a warrior. You'll start to notice opportunities where before you saw only obstacles. You'll find strength in situations that once made you feel powerless. You'll discover allies and mentors in the most unexpected places. But make no mistake, this path is not for the faint of heart. There will be days when doubt creeps in, when the challenges seem insurmountable, when it feels like the whole world is against you. In those moments, remember, a warrior's strength is not measured by the absence of fear, but by the ability to act in spite of it. When you feel overwhelmed, take a deep breath and reconnect with your why. Why did you choose this path? What dreams, what values, what deep-seated beliefs are you fighting for? Let those answers fuel you. Let them be the fire that keeps you moving forward when the path gets tough. As you continue on your journey, you'll start to notice something remarkable. The more you trust yourself, the more others will trust you. The more you believe in your vision, the more others will be inspired by it. Your courage will become contagious, your authenticity magnetic. Without even trying, you'll find yourself becoming a leader, not because you sought that role, but because others are drawn to the power of someone who dares to be fully, unapologetically themselves. But leadership, in the warrior sense, isn't about having followers. It's about empowering others to find their own path, to tap into their own warrior spirit. As you walk alone, you'll inspire others to do the same. You'll create a ripple effect of courage, authenticity, and purpose that extends far beyond your immediate circle. Remember, though, that this journey is not a sprint. It's a marathon. There will be times when progress feels slow, when it seems like you're not moving forward at all. In those moments, look back at how far you've come. Celebrate the small victories, the lessons learned, the strength gained. Every step, no matter how small, is taking you closer to becoming the person you're meant to be. As you continue to walk your path, you'll find that your definition of success starts to change. It becomes less about external achievements and more about internal growth. Success becomes about staying true to your values, about having the courage to be vulnerable, about making a positive impact on the world around you. You'll also discover that walking alone doesn't mean being lonely. In fact, you'll likely find that your relationships become deeper, more authentic, more meaningful. When you have the courage to be yourself, you attract others who appreciate you for who you truly are. You create connections based on shared values and mutual respect, rather than superficial similarities or social expectations. But perhaps the most profound change will be in how you see yourself. As you face your fears, overcome challenges, and stay true to your path, you'll develop a kind of self-trust and self-respect that nothing external can shake. You'll know deep in your bones that you have the strength to handle whatever life throws your way. This inner strength, this warrior spirit, will become your compass, guiding you through life storms and helping you make decisions that align with your true self. You'll find yourself less swayed by others' opinions, less tempted by shortcuts or easy paths that don't truly serve you. As your journey continues, you'll also discover that being a warrior isn't just about personal growth. It's about making a difference in the world. Your unique gifts, your hard-won wisdom, your authentic voice, these are all tools that can be used to create positive change. You might find yourself standing up for causes you believe in, even when it's uncomfortable. You might be inspired to create something new, to solve problems in innovative ways, to bridge divides that others thought were insurmountable. Your warrior's journey will likely lead you to a deeper sense of purpose, a calling that's bigger than just personal success. Remember, though, that making a difference doesn't always mean doing big dramatic things. Sometimes it's the small acts of kindness, the quiet moments of integrity, the consistent choice to do what's right even when no one's watching. These are the things that truly change the world, one interaction at a time. As you continue to walk alone like a warrior, you'll also learn the importance of balance. A warrior isn't always in battle mode. There's also time for rest, for reflection, for celebration. Learn to honor all aspects of your journey. Embrace the highs and the lows, the victories and the setbacks, knowing that each experience is shaping you, strengthening you, preparing you for what's to come. In the quiet moments, when you're not actively pursuing your goals or overcoming challenges, take time to nurture your warrior spirit. Meditate, journal, spend time in nature. Do whatever helps you reconnect with your inner self and recharge your energy. A warrior knows that self-care isn't selfish. It's essential for staying strong and focused on the path. As your journey unfolds, you'll likely find that your path starts to inspire others. People will be drawn to your courage, your authenticity, your sense of purpose. They might ask you for advice, look to you as a role model, or simply express admiration for the way you live your life. In these moments, remember the warrior's code of humility. Share your experiences openly, offer guidance where you can, but always encourage others to find their own path. Your journey is uniquely yours, and while it can inspire others, it can't be replicated. The greatest gift you can give is to empower others to embrace their own warrior spirit. As you near the end of this chapter of your journey, take a moment to reflect on how far you've come. Think about the person you were when you first decided to walk alone like a warrior, and the person you are now. Notice the strength you've developed, the wisdom you've gained, the impact you've had. But also remember that this is not the end. The warrior's path is a lifelong journey of growth, discovery, and impact. There will always be new challenges to face, new heights to reach, new ways to make a difference in the world. So, brave warrior, as you stand at this milestone, looking back at the path you've traveled and forward to the adventures yet to come, know this: you are stronger than you ever imagined, more capable than you ever dreamed, and your journey has only just begun. The world needs your unique gifts, your courageous spirit, your authentic voice now more than ever. So take a deep breath, square your shoulders, and step forward into the next phase of your journey. Walk alone, but walk proud. For in your solitary path lies the power to transform not just your own life, but the lives of countless. Your warrior's journey continues. Embrace it with all your heart, face it with all your courage, and know that with every step, you're not just changing yourself. You're changing the world. Now go forth, brave warrior. Your greatest adventures still await.